Hey guys, Stitching May here on this October the 23rd to do an update video. It's been 3 months, not 6, so that's better, right? If you're new to my channel, welcome. My channel is mostly about cross stitch. It's a Flosstube channel. If you like what you see, feel free to like and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you don't like. I'm tough. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and watching me, and thank you for putting up with my sporadic randomness. How about that? I do have a lot to show you this video. A lot of progress for me lately. I feel like my stitchy bug is not completely back, but I definitely feel the urge, and I'm, working on that. I don't have all the numbers, and I'll get into why later in the video because most of you are here for the stitching. That'll kind of be my plans. But I do plan to be better about the numbers, right? I plan to do videos more often, and I take 3 months. I plan to be better about the numbers every time. I just stitch, and here I am. So let's just jump right in no particular order. I'll show you my progress. I don't think I have a lot of haul. I don't think, maybe 1 or 2 things. No finishes, but I'm kind of close to one, and I'm focusing on a finish. Hey. So the one that I'm close to a finish on is the one I'm currently working on. This is, I don't have what it's going to look like when it's finished, so I will insert that here. This is Singing the Blues. This is when the pattern was gifted to me. They had the red that comes in it. It was a silk, but I substituted 2 of my own color and cotton. I think one is called Princess Blue, and I don't know what the white is, but I'm doing color complete. So right now I'm only working on the blue, and then I'll go and add. So the red is going to be 2 little berries down here underneath this branch right here. And then the white is a border that goes around. And I just have a few more of the alphabet, the border, and those berries, and I should be done. My goal is to finish this. Are you ready? Today. That's not a lofty goal at all, is it? Because I have plans to stitch on something tomorrow to start my Halloween stitching. But that is where, guys, I got all of this done. Like literally all I had to do was the word bluebird and then do the border and then this. And I realized I was like 5 stitches too far this way on the top, and it did not line up, and I had to frock it. This is a needle minder from, I don't know where, I've had it for years. And then this one is a Bucky's beaver pin from Bucky's that Vic and I got when we went to a retreat together. And she took it home and sanded off the little pin nub and glued magnets to it so that we can make a needle minder from it. But that's what I've been diligently stitching on for the last few days. I've adjusted the sound on my camera so that my microphone's not so loud. Let me know if it's okay or not. Let me know what you think. I want you to be able to hear me, but I don't want to be screaming at you. This is Siege at Bunny Castle. This is a long dog sampler. This is what it will look like when it's finished. Of course, this is just a grayscale. I saw this on her Facebook page and fell in love with it. I'm stitching this on, I think, a 22 count Ada or a 22 count lamb's wool Ada. And this is where I currently am. I know where I worked on it. So all that I had finished before was this little corner piece, and then the part where I had gone down there. So I finished out the black and started coming out this way. It was just a lot of 310 stitching. I thought the camera's too far away. Maybe y'all can see that there without me stretching. But I'm loving this piece when I stitch on it. It is, it is teeny tiny Ada, but if I'm going to work on Ada, I tend to like the 20 count or the 22 count. I watched Melanie, the Soulful Stitcher recently, and all of hers projects have been on 20 count vintage country mocha country, whatever that thing is, and she really likes it. And that's the Ada I prefer if I'm going to stitch on Ada. And this is the colorway. These are all just stitched for in the called for DMC, stitched in on the called for DMC. And then this is in a stitch and button bag. I mean, it's some of her Teresa Koger fabric, but like the bunnies, I could not, right? Put this all up because otherwise I'll have a huge mess. Some of these bags, guys, I know exactly where they came from, and some of them I don't know exactly. I'll let you know if I remember. This is in another stitch and button bag. So the funny story is that her project was actually in this when we went to a retreat together. And I purchased this project that's in it. I was like, I need that bag. That one right there that your stuff is in. And I literally like stole it from, well, I bought it, but I made her take her stuff out of it so that I could buy the bag. Because these colors. So this is it's by Erin Elizabeth, Pumpkin Lane Sampler. Let me take it out so you can see it because there's some, my bag looks like it got melted. The Ziploc bag looks like it's melted. It's all like wrinkly. So this is what it will look like when it's finished. Again, see, like it was too perfect, right? And I don't know why I fell in love with this so much, but I absolutely did and had to have it. And I got it at Needlework Market in Nashville Market in 2025. No, 2024. This is 2025. Guys, I'm already trying to make it 2026. I'm stitching this. I did get the floss pack that came with it. That's got the Dinky Dye Silk. I worked on this at the beach recently. We went to the beach for our fall break. Oh, it was amazing. The weather was perfect. The water was so clear, guys. It was crazy. I'll try to insert some pictures later at the end. And this is just a random 32, 36 count 8 linen that I had in my stash. And I worked on this house, the roof in the house. I finished out the little gables here, finished out the first little area of the windows. And that is all that I stitched on. I only had to do 100 stitches for a prompt for Monopoly. So, and then I immediately switched back to my Singing the Blues one. And this needle minder is a Jack Skellington that I got from Stitch and Button. Do you see a trend? Vic takes all my money. And coloring cotton. Don't know where I got this bag from. I feel like it was a gift. Like it was a gift from Connie, maybe? I don't know. This is Matter's Choice. I do not have a cover photo, so I'll insert what it's going to look like here. I am stitching this in a Threadworks 10371, which is just a very lightly variegated brown. You can't really tell that it's variegated until like you're stitching with it. So it's very, very, very lightly variegated. This fabric is, I think it's Patina by Color and Cotton. It's a piece that I got off of eBay. This project, like, it looks so small and like it would be such a fast stitch, and it's monochromatic. But guys, the devil's in the detail. Like, it takes a little while. Each of these little motifs are pretty hefty chunks. And then not to count the little stray stitches that make kind of, I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it kind of looks like snowflakes in there. To make those, there's a lot of extra stitching. It takes a little more time than you would think, but it is fun to stitch, and I cannot wait to see the outcome. I've seen some people's finished, and I love it. And I should have another part of this fabric when I'm done. It should only take about half of this fabric. So, there it is from a distance. Is that too far away? So if I get my viewfinder close enough to where I can see, like you're super zoomed in on me, and nobody needs to see me that up close. But then if I'm back enough to where I'm not super zoomed in, I can't really tell what y'all can see. So the struggle is real. Oh, that is haul. That is haul. Maybe I do have some haul. This is another one that came up in my Monopoly prompt. So I am doing ever how many, I guess I should know, because they started making the Prairie Schooler Santas the year I was born, and they've come out with one every year since. So I have all of them, and I'm stitching them all on 25 count over 1. My goal is to do it on the summer khaki, light summer khaki or new summer khaki, but that can be hard to find now. So now I just kind of try to find this color in general, 25 count even weave, and I stitch it over 1 over 1, so that they are only this big. I'm planning to make some ornaments out of them, so I want them small. This is a Squirtle the turtle from Pokemon needle minder that I got off of Etsy. And all I did was finish out Santa's body. I'm down to the bottom of his body, and then I'll be able to do his feet, and then I think that's pretty much it on this one. Do the border, and I'll be ready to move on to the next one. And I am stitching them in order. So I started off with 1984. I think this is 1986. I think this is my third one. So I will always have a Prairie Schooler Santa on the way, because I've got like 43 of them to finish. 42. Telling my age. And that's just in a random mesh bag. This is another stitch and button bag. Guys, love the dragonflies. You know what? I did not stitch on this. Did I? Yeah, I did stitch on this. It was another prompt. This is the pandemic sampler, not the pandemic sampler by Long Dog. This is by Sarcy Girl. This is stitched on a piece of Tarnished by Lakeside Needleworks, and I'm doing it in the called for DMC, and that is not the right way. She goes this way. So this time I filled in some more of these little, they're flowers, but they kind of look like orange snowflakes. Just those few little, right there at the top. I think it was about 200 stitches that I had to do. But I'm loving this piece. I love this colorway. Like these oranges and turquoises, like it's amazing. It's not supposed to be Halloween, but it makes me think of Halloween and fall because of the turquoise and the like. Oh, and those are just DMC, guys. Like DMC gets a hard time because it's just plain solid floss. But I mean, look at those colors. It's just plain DMC cotton. Maybe I have more haul than I realized I had. This is another stitch and button bag. This is Love Bugs by Tellin Emblems. Do I have a picture of what it will look like when it's finished? I do. This is what it will look like when it's finished, except mine is going horizontal instead of vertical. That was a happy accident. I started the fabric the wrong way and was like, you know what? I still like it better that way. And then I did change the order. My dragonfly, my last video I said the butterfly is in the middle. I did the bee, then the dragonfly, and now I'm going to be working on the butterfly on the end. So I just switched the dragonfly and the butterfly because I wanted the dragonfly to be the focus of this piece. It is in this called for DMCs. Again, that same turquoise, orange, grays. This is on a piece of 16 count Ada that I dyed myself. I was just having fun dyeing stuff and dyed this, and then later on was like, oh wait, that project would look good on that fabric. So I have finally completed out this dragonfly completely. So I've got 2 of the 3 boxes done, and I've started on the butterfly box. Not actually the butterfly, just the box. So again, there's the dragonfly that I finished. And then I've started the border of this box. You can't really see it right now because it's just gray. It's weird. You don't see the border until the part in the middle is stitched, and then you see it a lot better. But there that is. There it's showing up now. And who knows, y'all may be able to see it just fine, and it's because it's this big that I can't see it. I don't feel like I stitched on that. I feel like that just got put back in there. Oh no, I stitched on it. Stitched some more on Tree of Hope, my oldest whip. Guys, I'm getting even closer. So the last time I showed you this, I had just stitched on this greenery here at the bottom and the dress. I've stitched a lot more of the lady and then the purple flowers that are kind of incorporated into her dress from the tree. All that is left on this for me, so I stitched this dresses, these flowers, and more of her skin. I'm stitching that. I'm not doing the 1/1 skin. This is just as started. This is the whole design. All that's left is to stitch the other lady, and there's a little kind of thing at the bottom. So if I was a monogamous stitcher and didn't jump from project to project, it wouldn't be that much. But I don't know when I'll work on it again, so I'm not sure when it will be done. See, I told y'all I worked on a lot of stuff. Next is Cinnamon Stars. I'll insert what that looks like here. And I worked on this a lot. I got a lot more of the stars done. This was a 2020 start that I literally stitched one rock and didn't touch again for forever. What's that? Forever. This is where I currently am. I work more on these stars over here to finish out the top right side. And then I'm going to eventually work my way down to the bottom and then over to the left. That's the plan, Stan. Nothing eventful on these. This is a lot of fun to stitch, but surprisingly there are a lot of color changes. Like it doesn't look like they are. It looks like it's blocky, but then there's more than you would think. And this is in a, you guessed it, stitch and button bag. It's a Stranger Things bag. This is one of my favorite pieces. I myself am made entirely of flaws stitched together with good intentions. It's one of my favorite quotes. I don't know where I worked on this. I think I worked on the quote or either the top border. I remember working on it, but I don't remember what part I worked on. This is in the called for DMC. And this is on a piece of I think it's Mallow by Picture This Plus. Maybe not because I don't see the orange thing. So I have no clue. Random fabric in my stash that I started it on. And then this is a little needle minder that I was in this Theatchalong in 2018. I was on Team Fireball, and one of the girls made us all Team Fireball needle minders. 2018. That seems like so long ago. And then I worked on Christmas sentiments. I'm sure this was part of a Monopoly pull. And I got a lot done on this. I got a lot of the poinsettias done in this tree. Do I have what it will look like when it's finished? I do not. I'll insert that here. And I'm just stitching this in the called for DMC. It does have to, well, I don't know. I'm stitching it with a variegated DMC. 4045 is my green, and 115 is the red. Sorry, an airplane's going by. That is where I am, mostly on these little red flowers in these trees. Check my time. I think I'm okay. And that is it for progress. I don't know if I announced the last time, but my winner for my giveaway was Chirstine. I know her first and last name. I don't know if she wants me to share it. She is Crisscross Stitcher here on Flosstube, and she won the giveaway. I feel like I've already announced that last time. I just haven't sent it off yet. Things are coming. I've been in contact with her, though, and things are coming down for herself and myself, so I'll be sending that out to her soon. Okay, on to haul, because that's all I have. Well, let's do plans next. My plans, of course, are to finish that bluebird piece first. That's my first goal today. If it doesn't happen, it just doesn't happen. And then starting tomorrow, I'm going to officially be working on my Halloween piece. And the piece I'm going to be working on for this Halloween is my Haunted House Sampler by Twin Peak Primitives. So this is what it will look like when it's finished. And then it will look like, this is where I currently am. This is on a piece of Silk Weaver's Antique Almond. And I'm stitching it in the DMC they call for, which is just the perfect Halloween colors. But I really like this kind of orangey brown fabric with these colors. But that's my plan. That's going to be my Halloween stitch. Other than Monopoly prompts, this is probably what I will stitch on, unless I'm having to do a Monopoly prompt. Also, one of the things I mentioned before was getting better about knowing my numbers. So when my stitchy bug dies, I just stitch. There's a squirrel running across the fence. He has been harvesting his little tail end off, y'all. He comes across this fence constantly with little things he's scavenged, and he's hiding them like he is ready for winter. I hope that means maybe we're going to have a cold winter, just no snow. But so when my stitch bug dies, I just stitch, and I don't really count when I'm stitching and that kind of thing. So I'm bad to sometimes not keep up with my stitching. I had a paper journal at the beginning of the year where I was keeping up with all my stuff pretty good. And then I got a Kindle Scribe, and I tried to do the electronic journal. And I've realized I don't like that as much because I flip back and forth so much when I'm counting my numbers that it's kind of a hindrance when I'm using my Kindle. So I'm still going to use it for like notes while I'm counting, but I'm going to go back next year and do a paper journal again. So that's my plans. That's planning. That's all my planning. Plan to switch back to a paper journal. My favorite one is by Willow Creek Press. When I get the one for 2026, I'll show it to you in the video. You can get them on Amazon for like $17.99, but if you have a Five Below within driving range of you, you sometimes can find them there for like $8, and it's so much better. So plans are to work on that Haunted House sampler and then finish my Bluebird. So let's see if I stick to my guns and have that for you guys. Not finish the Halloween one, just an ample amount of progress. Ample is to be determined by me. So yeah, life update, just doing the whole mom thing. We had our fall break. We went down to the beach, had a great time. The weather was perfect, just warm enough to get in the ocean, but not so much that we, broke a sweat. Um, just stayed at the beach most of the days. One day we didn't even leave the room. We sat in the room and I stitched and hung out with my in-laws and my husband and my kid. We played putt-putt 1.5 times. The halftime involved my father-in-law kind of tripping. Guys, it was so dark at that course. We won't get into that. He's fine. He's 100% okay. Scared us to death though, but upset us. But everything is good. And that's really it. Nothing big. No big life updates. So I do have a little bit of haul if you're interested in that. I got two. We missed 1 month thanks to my bank. It's the whole thing. My bank got bought out, and that was at the time we got the new card, and I didn't get billed for the third month of fabric. So I missed 1 month of my installment of my color and cotton fabric of the month, but I did get October's, and let me take these out of the plastic, y'all. I don't know what month this one was. It doesn't say. So I got Flintstone, which is this beautiful light gray color. It's just a basic tan, a grayish. It's like the color of the wall. Everybody's painting their walls grayish. That's this exact color. Grayish. Flintstone. And then October's was a limited edition color. And this one is called, oh, it doesn't say. It just said limited edition. They didn't even name it. It's so limited, they didn't even name it. Let's see. It's a beautiful, I don't keep those in this plastic. So it's this beautiful, ooh, guys. That is, I hate that it's limited edition because I would buy more of this. It's just a really pretty, neutral, primitive brown color. Okay. And then I did get 2 patterns. I got one, it's a Bent Creek. I'm sure I got this off Stash Unload. And it just says, good morning. That's it. But it's a Bent Creek. I got it just because I was getting this pattern. And, charts can't travel alone. So I got the blue flower. I count not my day complete till needed thread and fabric meet. I wish that was my motto. I have more 0 stitchy days than I have stitchy days. I tend to for the last couple years. That's a New Year's resolution for me, to have more stitch days than 0 stitch days. There we go. 2026 resolution. But I just love the colors, and I have not had a blue flower design that I didn't love. And I just think these animals, look at the little squirrel. My little Sid the squirrel. We've named our wild squirrel. His name is Sid, because he had a funky looking tail one time, and he reminded me of I know it's not a squirrel, but from Ice Age, the sloth Sid, but the way he kind of always looks like just so disheveled, his tail reminded me of Sid. But he also reminds me of the squirrel from the beginning of Ice Age. So somehow I ended up naming him Sid. I don't know if that squirrel has a name or not, but our squirrel's named Sid. He's the one that was barking at my cousin and I the last time we made our video on FlossandFound, because his food bowl is empty. This was a impromptu purchase. I was trying to win a different bag on whatnot, but I ended up with this one, and it's Wizard of Oz, so it's not bad. Always remember, you are braver than you believe, stronger than you think, more beautiful than you imagine, and loved more than you know. And it's just, I'd probably use that for Stitchy's tools, or you could put like a mill hill in it. But and then, if you have the Halloween bag from Vic and you haven't opened it yet, I have mine. I'm going to show you. So if you've not opened it yet, look away. So apparently my camera thought I was talking to you guys too long. I'm going to go back and edit it right as I say to look away. So here we are. This is the Stitch and Button mystery Halloween bag box. I got this beautiful Halloween bag. Guys, like orange and turquoise, that's my thing. It's like it's a newspaper or something. It's got a haunted house saying it's for sale, a lost and found, the Ghostly Gazette, breaking news, mass robbery in Salem. The O'Shannon Wolfpack is at it again. Mass robberies have caused chaos in the town of Salem. This gang of werewolves have been targeting homes near Salem Cemetery. Officials say, story continued, page 6. But it's just got, like, if it was a spooky newspaper. And the inside fabric's got little bats and cobwebs. It's perfect. And the, I just realized that the zipper pull has got a red coffin. I didn't realize it was red. I knew it was a coffin, but I didn't realize that one side was red. Can you see that at all? Let's see. I may have to stand up. There's a little red there. And it came with a new thing she's doing. This is a needle parker. So like you can go ahead and get your 10 flosses and put your threaded needles there. It holds those. I'm not one that does that, but I will use this as a little needle book. Comfy coffin. And then inside of that was floss tags. They are black with gold embossing. A needle case. There we go. With a little magnet in it. And this has got a spider on it, and it says spider eggs. Mine got a little bent in shipping, but that's okay. And then 2 counting pins with bats on them. And then a needle binder with palmistry, tell your fortune. And then I think there was a scissor fob too, and it's already on something. But I was really excited. I loved all this little stuff. I did get another Jack Skellington needle binder from her, but Sunshine already stole it from me. So I kid, when I purchased it, I had her in mind, and I almost kept it from her. And then I was like, no, I bought this for you, so I'm gonna give it to you here. So guys, that's everything for now. Nothing big, just a lot of progress. I hope my goal is to be back towards the end of next month, about the same time next month. I'm gonna try to do monthly videos because I'm gonna try to have plenty of progress to show you, right? Gotta have the ample amount of stitching on my haunted house sampler. As always, guys, stay safe, and happy stitching.